Oh, we've got beautiful weather today. I'm back to having long sleeves because it's much colder. As I said, it will get colder, and it did. It was raining overnight, and today it's like something like 10 degrees. Actually 8. Now it's like 8. It's just a whole lot less compared to the 28 yesterday and the day before that. But actually it's quite pleasant, I had to say. I really don't like when it's way too warm. And this is kind of like, to me, this seems to be more in line with April weather than almost 30 degrees. So, yeah. There's ravens up there. Probably either there's something new in there, or it's the same old throw up. I'm not sure. Yeah, there is something new, obviously. What a surprise. And what is it? I mean, at this point, I'm just like, I don't know. I need some sort of food, from a, as I said, it's like from a school kitchen. I don't know what it is at this time. Seems like, it seems like mashed potatoes and some other crap. I don't know. Let's take it this way this time, because we're walking that way all the time. Yeah. So I think it's gonna be like this for a few days, because we had a lot of warm days, way too warm, and oh, I think I saw a squirrel there. It's a pretty unusual sight here. It was definitely a squirrel, because the way it moves, it was like a sort of a. It has a very specific move, right? When you see a squirrel, it's like. It's like so sort of ethereal and soft. It's like boom boom, it's like so light. It's such a, I don't know how to put it, but it's such a fragile, sort of fluffy little creature, and it's like springy, so you always know when it's a squirrel, because nothing moves like a squirrel, I think. And the squirrels around here are actually quite rare, surprisingly. I think when I say I see a squirrel, like one squirrel a year, it's too much, frankly. I don't see squirrels at all here. So there are not many squirrels, which is surprising, and I don't know if it's because they moved. That's the blackcap singing over there from the right. I don't know if it's because they moved to the cities, or because there's just not favorable habitat here for them. I have no idea. But I saw, if I have to count, like seriously, and I can remember how many times I've seen the squirrel over the past 4 years since I'm here, I think it was about 3 times in total over those 4 years. 3 sightings of a squirrel. Seriously. Maybe 4, like if I'm like very general, like once a year, seriously, which is very surprising. I mean, I'll be talking about deer, boar, fox, they're all here. And of course, animals like badger you don't see, because they're very secretive and they're active throughout the night. But squirrels, I mean, I remember when I was living in the capital, I saw squirrels all the time, just like hedgehogs, by the way. And hedgehogs here, I've seen also only a couple of times. In total, I don't know, 4-5 times maybe over those 4 years. So it's interesting, but I think maybe those animals, these species like squirrels and hedgehogs, really en masse moved into larger cities and city parks because it's just more favorable habitat, because it's warmer there, because they have more food, less predators. I'm not really sure, but I guess there must be some reason why they do it, right? So yeah, so squirrels are quite rare sighting around here. There's a blackcap over there. See, now they're everywhere. It's like, you know, you hear a first blackcap for the first time. It's like not very audible, and then it's everywhere. You know, once the most of the population arrives, you've got them on every corner, and it's a pretty common bird too. Yeah, and the same's gonna happen with the willow warbler probably in a few weeks, maybe in a week or two. We're not gonna hear that many of them, but there's definitely gonna be more. Now we heard just one, and I haven't heard any since then. But yeah, it's that. And maybe we're gonna hear that wood warbler, Philoscopus sibilatrix, at some point. It's definitely the least common of those three most common warblers, Philoscopus warblers in Central Europe, but yeah, they're here and there. They're very much like beech forests, an old beech sort of growth. So if you have a beech forest somewhere which is nicely old and kind of larger, you're gonna hear wood warblers there for sure. But I've heard them here as well. But like, you know, one here, one there, like not very many, not many of them, simply put. Because what I've learned is that they very much like a forest ground and forest soil not to be too overgrown. So if you have a lot of brambles and a lot of undergrowth, they're not very fond of that. They like spots which are clean, clear. And in beech forests, like when you have this old growth of beech woods, there is often like a thick layer of humus and of leaves, simply put, you know, beech leaves. And there's not much of a growth going on, right? You have some anemone flowers, and some, you know, other different small little forest plants, but there is not much of an undergrowth going on in these large beech old woods, and that's what they like. That's where you're gonna find them. But here it's the exact opposite. Here there's a lot of undergrowth going on. There's a lot of you know, well, first of all, fallen trees. You have a lot of brambles that climb on top of it and sort of overgrow everything, and they are not fond of that at all, or not much at least. And who is fond of this kind of habitat is, for instance, wren. He loves those, you know, bramble bushes and all that, because that's a brilliant not only hiding spot, but also foraging spot and a nesting spot for it. So wren loves these kind of like exactly like this. When you look at this, perfect habitat for wren. This perfect habitat for wren. But wood warbler, not so much. And I think blackcaps as well, they also like this kind of, like when you have nettle undergrowth, like you have like higher nettles, and then you have brambles on top of it and all that. Also brilliant nesting spot for blackcaps. They also love that kind of thing. But simply for some species it's not favorable, and so they don't nest there and appear there. Chiffchaffs, I guess they don't mind because they're pretty much everywhere. Chiffchaffs are very, very versatile when it comes to habitats, as I already said. So you're going to find them in various different, large different array of habitats, you know. Yeah. I thought it's going to be raining heavily, but fortunately it's not raining at all. Just a light drizzle. That's good. That's nice. See, this is the place where I talked about I had to bring my saw, a hand saw, and saw this off. And there's a sawed off spot there because there were tree trunks and branches everywhere and I couldn't pass through. So sometimes you got to do that here because no one's gonna come here and clear it out, which is great. I love it, but then also I want to walk through here, so I had to do. Black cat, probably the one we've been listening to last time we were here. Still holding the same territory. Very, very beautiful song. They're not shy really. See, we were very close and it's still singing. Wow. So they're not shy at all. Yeah, and I believe I helped some animals there because this here is the path we were walking through, but it's originally, and what it really is it's an animal path, you know, like a deer path, like lots of road deers and other animals pass through here. So, you know, when those trees fallen over, I believe, I mean, of course they would find a different way. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I think, you know, when I cleared it out there, I helped them too, so they didn't have to create a different route through the brambles. So, you know, I did a bit of a service for for us all. I would like to think, but yeah. Oh my God. I'm extremely unmotivated these days. That was why I let out the oh my God, because I'm not looking forward for today, really. And probably, like, I don't know, like, I enjoy these walks and I enjoy talking and capturing and all that, but yeah, I'm not gonna bother you with that, but whatever. I'm just extremely unmotivated to do anything at all, really. But this is a nice sort of habit I got to, you know, taking the camera out and capturing the walks in the morning. Kind of helps me, I think, to kind of cope with some things. And yeah, it's you know, it might sound like I'm doing it for whoever you are, the viewers. I don't know if someone's watching this or not, but I'm doing it for myself, to be quite very honest, because I enjoy it and it helps me, like mentally, let's say. So, oh, that's a Fringilla calyps there. It's like, yeah, Fringilla calyps. I see I'm speaking in Latin. Chaffinch, yeah, chaffinch. Yeah, classic chaffinch call. And we have a, what do you call it? Chiffchaff. Fringilla calyps, chiffchaff. yeah, it's like, you know, imagine having an imaginary friend that you talk to when you're like lonely and you're feeling down or something. You know, it's gonna help you. You know, you might sound like you're crazy, but let's be honest, it helps. You know, even if you talk to yourself, and if you're a kid and you have an imaginary friend, like, you know, I know it's a joke to many, and there's a meme about imaginary friends and all that, but hell, it helps. Like, you know, it does help. And this kind of works the same way for me, to me, you know. Like, in the end, it doesn't really matter if someone's going to watch it or not, because it helps me. So yeah, it's a little bit of a confession here. I'm doing all this for myself. But yeah, I kind of do that for myself, really. Of course, not just for myself, but like large part, I do it for myself, yeah, because it does help me. Well, it's starting to rain, and we're at the end of the walk, so that's a pretty great time to sign off now. I have no idea where Drake is, but you know what? I kind of gave up on that too, because Drake is just acting erratic, very, very, very erratic these past few days, and I just gave up, really, on that. Like, whatever, you know, he knows where he lives, he's gonna come back, and, you know, let him do his thing. I'll let him do his thing. I'll do me, he'll do him, and whatever, you know. So anyways, I'm signing off.